Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. That's the newer all-electric Cadillac. It's quite nice, that is, but it's too big to fit in the garage. But if you're an American and you want one, it'll be about $60,000, and the Cadillac are already taking orders for them now. Anyway, enough of that. As you know, there's a political storm brewing up with the POTUS election next year, but no mention in the mainstream news about the three political storms which are happening on the US state level. The first is in Tennessee, as with the proposed Tennessee required paternity test at birth, which came into force on July the 1st this year. Now, this is not a new legislation. This article was done in 2008, so that's 15 years ago. It's about has to have proven that the father is the biological father, and she has been playing around. Now, the other side, it says women's groups are up in arms about the idea. There are some women while some women have and will commit paternity fraud, all women and couples should have to pay. That's all very well, but all these comments, they all seem to be in favour of this legislation. No matter what the women's group says, it's going through, because I found this at Action News 5 and CBS. That's either the TV station or the radio station in Tennessee. As you can see, Memphis State represents the DNA bill making its way through the Tennessee legislature. Now, this was done on May 17, 2022, and it's just a rundown of this bill. The bill would prevent unmarried men from claiming a child that isn't biologically their own. Is making its way through the Tennessee legislature. And then it goes on about it. The House bill passed the Child and Family Affairs Subcommittee on Wednesday, but not without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services. They obviously see a drop in finances. And Memphis representatives Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring the House version of the bill. He says some constituents say they've been forced to pay child support after finding out a child they thought was not their own. And then it just drops down about it. Now, if you're a Tennessean and you want to check that the child is yours, I found this. It's why paternity testing is important in Tennessee. If you drop down, this is the best one to go for, I would imagine. Legal DNA test. Legal paternity tests are required to establishing paternity is court ordered. These tests have court admissible results since they use professional DNA collection. A paternity test may be court ordered to establish child support, child custody, social security, or support a parent's name on a birth certificate. Now, if you drop down, this is it. It will cost you $300 to $500. You can do a home DNA test, which is $130 to $200, but for a $300 difference, you get a cast iron legal accepted result. You can also do a non-invasive pregnancy test if she's pregnant, but that will cost you $1,000 to $2,000. So it's entirely up to you which one. It'd be either this one after the child been born, or this one while she's still pregnant. And then wherever the result is, you go to court, and then the fireworks will start. Well, anyway, that's the storm in Tennessee. There's an even bigger storm going on in Texas. As you can see, TikTok warns Texas women about push to ban no-fault divorce. A lady called Kimberly Stover, never heard of her, said to avoid getting legally married if possible. Now, she's a TikToker and made a viral video warning Texas women to avoid tying the knot, at least from a legal standpoint, due to the state's conservative push for the elimination of no-fault divorce. And then it goes on about it. And last year, the Republican Party of Texas, as you know, Texas is a Republican state. They have no truck with Democrats. Added language on its platform calling for an end to no-fault divorce, according to Rolling Stone. Well, Rolling Stone is a leftish liberal publication in America. The Stone's platform says, we urge the legislature to rescind unilateral no-fault divorce laws to support covenant marriage and to pass legislation extending the period of time in which a divorce may occur to 6 months after the date of filing for divorce. Now, this TikToker cottoned onto that and warned with the possibility of no-fault divorce laws changing in conservative states. TikToker Kimberly Stover advised unwed women not to get married legally. Well, how are you going to get married if it's not legally? More than 2/3 of all heterosexual divorces are initiated by women. No shit. Any women's groups would tell you that. And then it goes on about it. And you can watch the TikTok below, but I'll leave that to you. But then, 17 days later, Ms., a feminist web-based publication, jumped on the bandwagon, taking from a divorce court and attorney, ending no-fault divorce is a scary suggestion. And then she dropped down. Apparently, the conservative leaders in American states of Louisiana and Nebraska, as well as Texas, want to get rid of no-fault divorce, in some cases introducing bills that would transport us back to the world of fault-based battles. Not being American, I don't know what that is. But it says, where is it? Whoops. Stop doing that, Christopher. Wolfer said going back to no-fault divorce is dangerous. If a husband was abusive and we were in a full consent divorce, world required consent from both sides, that would mean the wife would be trapped in this situation forever. And if she was a victim of domestic abuse, that would be very terrible. Agreed. If the husband is abusive, then they can divorce. But a lot of these divorces in America of late is just the wife just got bored and she's not happy, and then she decides she wants out of the marriage, maybe because she's got hitched up via social media with Chad, and then the husband has to lose half his stuff. But they never think of that. But if an abusive husband and the marriage is just abusive and there's no child, then yes, it's best for both parties to divorce. Stop doing that, Christopher. If a woman or man wants to leave a marriage, they are entitled by law. It's simple. Divorce is a matter of social justice and equality. And within the no-fault model, many states still permit the court to consider the reasons for the marital breakdown while determining spousal support and or property distribution. Depends who owns a house. While research solidly shows that abuse and the coercive control of one parent is child abuse and should be considered in custody determinations, family courts have not caught up. If there's children involved, then it puts a whole different meaning to divorce, because the children are always the ones which suffer. And then it goes on about it. But CNN, being a leftish news channel in America, and blaming the rights over it. It says the rights move against no-fault divorce is an attack on women. And then about right-wing commenting to Steve Crowder, that's him, he's getting divorced from his wife, yada yada yada. And it says, it's hardly surprising panic is rising over divorce rate, really imagine, has long been an unjust scapegoat in social decay. Echoes of the courtrooms, 19th century, yada yada yada. And then it goes down about it, all sorts of historical things. Hey up. What's that with Biden? Outstanding start of Biden's poll. Let's have a look at that. Opinion. Whoops. 58% of Americans are worse under Biden, 24% improving under Biden, and 18% have no effect. So if you're American, 58% of you lot are worse under Biden. I hope Trump wins. Anyway, that's going on in Texas. Meanwhile, in Florida, DeSantis has signed a bill ending permanent alimony. And a measure about it, on Friday, signed a measure that will overhaul the state's alimony laws after 3 vetoes of similar bills and a decade of emotional clashes over the issue. And then I covered this earlier. On behalf of thousands of women groups, we are very disappointed in the government decision to sign the alimony reform. We believe that signing it has put older women in a situation which will cause financial devastation. The so-called Party of Family Values has contributed to the erosion of institutional marriage in Florida, says Jan Kalia, 63-year-old Boca Raton, that must be a town, woman who founded the group a decade ago. So, it incited tearful testimony from members of the First Wife group, but it incurred impassionate pleas for ex-spouses who said they'd been forced to work long past that age they wanted to retire because they were on the hook for alimony payments. Maybe if they'd have made preparations in the marriage for this. But anyway, on the 3rd of July, I found this on Judge Supra. This is the breakdown of the bill. It's in 4 stages. The temporary alimony, bridging the gap, and rehabilitation not to exceed 5 years, or durational. That means it carries on, but I imagine that this is what they're complaining about, because after 5 years of paying alimony, everything stops, and the woman has to go on with a new life. But anyway, these are the storms going on in America, and I imagine this is all sort of, to a degree, the MGTOW effect. The state politicians have seen the birth rate dropping, the divorce rate going up, the rise of single women, and they've seen the writing on the wall, and they're worried that it's going to start affecting them. Because, as you know, by 2030, 45% of women in America will be childless and single. So they're going to have to do something about it to stop the tidal flow of endless no-fault divorces and the falling birth rate, and this is the results. I'll try and find something for the next video, but it won't be on Monday. I might do one on Sunday, because next Monday I'm going down to Stoke-on-Trent because it's my mum's sister's birthday, Auntie Barbara. She's 88, and I always go down there on her birthday to spend the day with her. So if I don't do one on Thursday, it'll be a week on Monday before the next one. I think I'm past the 10-minute mark now, so you know, all the routine people, like, dislike, comment, subscribe, and all the rest of it. It's completely up to you. So until either Sunday or a week on Monday, that's it for this one. Bye bye.